Omari se sama munyina kwa baba UTV kasebui eso wofa etosuminu na yahase eno yankomodi enwire nkomo be ne enemo eba bedi ena dwumade kase bi akoso ewo man Ghana mu Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne campaign de ne dum akotre pa aye the 24-hour economy policy ne wadanu edi mampani tese abane die womo ho ne wankrankra nyuma no obi apese odon ho hye 24-hour economy hye no womo secretariat abekono makodin sauso na emwa bia ohia no aban edi ama wo 24-hour economy hye no ekwan be so na befa aboa Ghana edwuma sem mabunu betimi anya adwuma ye adwuma wuru amonso ekwan be na be fa so aboa mo na sinto ben kra na ewo sanhye no eho enkomwe na ho behia se yemfa nya amanyosem na yebenya omu a wo maben wo mo nimdie efa dwadie ho nyenom edi eho enkomo businessmen nyenom edi ho enkomo enti aton safre Ghana adwadifuo ekuo kese baako a ewo omayimu ye from Traders Advocacy Group Ghana itwentia efrem tag opening kese a odano the founder the leader the president and the tag onmunyamfo David Kwadwo Amoaten David Kwadwo Amoaten Mr. President, good evening. Akwaba. David. David. Okufo, name. Akwaba. Yo, ana say you the executive director. Equire from Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana. Executive director. Ekuono Kofarbai, the Odano, aye unmunyamfo Samson Asaki Awingobed. Chairman, good evening.
Bongo difara. Mejeso. Me chair oti for and I for.
Chairman bia so ejo so mo wa fa nwumre dodo.
It does.
Yes, you know.
Yo, my Shasem Executive Director for Importers and Exporters, Mr. Asaki, and that launching of a 24-hour economy now honomo.
Yes.
The hula baru around it. Mampani John Dramani ma wontimi nyo, and the ne uhu ye no. Dia na oka fa ho.
Na oye de hu se ne me wo ho bi. Ati for me feel no why. Me chia ahwefo ina.
Yeah.
Ghana for do 10 p.m. de na UTV ne obia ahwe. If we come to that limelight there, you had the market share.
Okay.
Not just meet lit news, but as your morning show there ya economy and pamfo moso ya hwepa.
Okay.
Menu apenya amate ya shon footsteps. Me did say one day I also going to the president of tax. The me chair judge for now His Excellency Omampeni John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
And his cabinet and his ministers and his government appointees. Ajaba bedu. Dan me ba ha me kwa me say as I can say they will not you say I dey my head was it twi ni papa me say I say ada me shashia nti me pese me cut the dika na amoaten otrentren me nti omobo am na omosumuka ho na me twi na say improvement kaka no correct the doom says okay you see Ghana ha ye the BIA politics but I can tell you clearly say MPP NDC do muchia Ghana because NDC they fair instead of say MPP back say they way NDC na fair no on back say o da be fair unless omunkwa sa na MPP su baba ye ade fair NDC for back say nti omo akwele ena akokoba
akokọ sa krakoma
ayene fe and I can tell you quite clearly say this policy is a policy that's going to have a good game changer for the Republic of Ghana for the interest
akwele ni kokoba
akwele ni kokoba akwele
ene
kokko zamini minimze akwele ana your friends akwele ene kokko omo ya krobo ni ba
magono kan kokko
ye kokko to so bese akwele ne kokko
okay
no kwese ene 24 hours policy na ada di at say himse me say 3 weeks ago na me wo your friends na me wo my producer on share link with us okay on share link no na me wo Metro TV my sister station me okay na yedin kiton about 24 hour economy na be say how will it going to help Ghana, how is it going to help 24 more Ghana
okay
ohana menua yenua ba kono enche 6 months 7 months ago no deputy minister of trade honorable Befi I think Joaben Safa na Joaben there new Joaben MP because na policy we krampo omo as members of parliament as trade and tourism committee ko national secretariat no where yenua paying agusita no that as national coordinator no but they briefed them so but they didn't see the policy document and because onya abotre policy document it say him say edua 9 months now echa 9 months one day nkola na baba came back over ya operational yi akola no nti ene on the 2nd of July omampenya baba dani policy no document da me say Ghana for ina akola na ya wono wie ya tun din say 24H+ agenda na omampenya mama ka say yam ya aduma ono ne ban omba hwek say yamfa bill bi ko parliament ukaya ene all the sectorial ministers. Policy and only for export alone. There are so many things that is going to bring to it's going to be the paradigm shift for so far as Ghana's economic is concerned. And so far as our GDP is concerned, it's going to bring a huge increase in our GDP so far as proceeds will be coming back home.
Okay.
Now, my as I say, about parliament. Speaker no by so who said Speaker of Parliament was in the Parliament and was in at the conference center today. Vice President was there. Chief of Staff was there. Even the National Chairman for National Democratic Congress (NDC) Chairman was there. Minister of Trade, Minister Obaye, Nonkasa Baye, Minister of Fisheries was there. And so almost the solidarity message from agencies, ministries, agencies. No, one say Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Trade, Minister of Fisheries. Which ministers again? There were 3 ministers. Then agencies like Venture Capital, Trust Fund, National Development Bank, Exim Bank. They all came to support it and said, "Look, they are doors and they are prepared to support this social 24-hour." Economic policy, which your mama named it as the H+. Okay. Now, Nema ebeye ni. My name say, or you want to come to Martin?
Other boss Bukakana for me come Martin.
Until President Mama outlined the 8 pillar framework for the 24-hour economy.
Okay.
8 papa. I'll try my best to explain for Ati for and the brother understand me like because of I can't. The mother tongue is kusa. Meka kusa zo wunti anambwa. Timokra me yade so boma baso. Number 1, John Mama your friend grow 24. Grow yini ye be yini.
Yeah.
24. Or see suppose no focusing on transforming agriculture sector. See say dan ina ya kase Ghana ha agriculture is contributing about 60% and I Ghana to our economic development and to the GDP and to see the growth 24 is going to transform the agricultural sector through technology driven climate smart practices that allows for round the clock production and value addition. It aims to ensure food security and reduce post harvest loss. And so what say Minister of Road let me refer you know okay say as part of 24-hour economy, no, they are going to construct roads from the interland okay be na ya aduane e kofa aduane free farmers baka say ya dowie ya pese ya fa ba na ekwan bia ni ona harvest losses no is going to reduce that. Agriculture, we are going to expand it around the clock. That's agriculture aspect. That's one aspect of the 24-hour economy. Number two, also make the 24-hour. Also under this pillar, the NDC government will prioritize. This is the area abiding the super, the industrialization and manufacturing, promoting 24-hour operations in factories and processing zones to increase output, export, and employment. The HRN say, one, your factories, you be pa buyer.
Numa kese, you be
near producing never be. The side you several producing never be no. They are promoting 24-hour economic production factories. Now, yeah, processing zones to say Dawa Park. You be Okumasi, you be northern region, northern part of Ghana. Say me free north. Jomama Kra also free north. Savannah region, northern region, northeast, upper east. Upper West. Okay. You have another parks in those areas. Over to us. Mame kwa mwati honomo na men. Over to us. Mame nonsi. So make the 24-hour no. Not never the increased output in export. And you have employment. Employment say you be manufacturers no. To say mu papa or this way. Chocolate drink. And chocolate and meat fufu and others no. You have expanding where they. Okay. Okay. Ora amwaten so adwadifo mo kofa niam ba eba mo mu beton 24-hour economy na buchi no eye dwuma ho ho no mu ne sen sin to ben na ohun a ugiri se Ghana se esi etimi eso ano na ankofa ade a ese edemfa so bre o man no ankofa how ama
Bongo amencha na me na UTV for us.
Yeah, that was sense.
Mo de edwadifo station ntino. Mo de bia nema abo edwadifo na mo bon de ro. Na amencha menua panya asake soso. O bon ho modin ye pa o import and export. Mencha na pokuya mi genua secretary. Na yenua panyi ya bema.
All right.
Oni kodwetech. See, bongo. Bibia abande beba ebema inyuma aba o memu bi aya was a Ghana ni bi amene nje because say aban sheda kase or the bibi ba ade a wo de ba ska all committee to that program $4 billion na che say ade e be ma nyuma aba what you say yen dwedifo no ene ma bi ati say ni bi aya gina wa tu
okay
na mum bibi program bi na obi de ba or how ni ho or how ni ndini nipa o eni ndina ba ni say no yeso ye betena se na or how bi e wo ho bia no ya treat as our how and you see ade ba ko a ya na de bia ma meta abogi arefo abaso eni sa eni ma bi ti say the bia GR bia they make sure they engage their stakeholders.
Oh, okay.
Yes. When it comes to stakeholder engagement, GRA is second to none.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Asaki will testify. Any product, out, say taxes, say they will consult their stakeholders. And the way I will treat
on the
Dano. So obey engage all the stakeholders. You see, who engage stakeholders now? And on a year. Na ya kire baby a problem bi o baby a emwa beba see enema nwotwe na omoda na di no ni nyina ya enema eboboa
okay
because agriculture and food security bongo ubeti madala of 1 year
Debbie
ba come di me no 1 year
Debbie
what you say sa na mani nyina ya enema manufacturing and industrialization construction and infrastructure tourism culture and creative economy. Nina logistic transport and digital. Nina ya dia support. Ba me dey say you say you the $4 billion ebe program
dollars.
Now the seed capital $300 to $400 million. On the average, you know, on percentage terms, 8%. Yeah, to me, in our form. What do I say? Form.
Seed money, no?
Yes.
Yeah, $4 billion to $4 million, no?
$300 to $400 million.
Yeah.
ɛwɔ form but ɛwɔ form ɛdi nti na ɛwɔ form ɛwɔ man na nkasa yɛ pa yɛn ho ayɛ ho ase what you say eti no in as much as ɛwɔ form no mpanyinfo si bi da wɔn mu a ɛna wɔto a ɛbɛn eti sɛ edi kan de bi ato hɔ de a yɛn hyɛ stakeholders na yɛn hwɛ ɛkwan yɛ bɛfa so a yɛ bɛ pushi the 24-hour economy me de bi a me ka kyɛn nkɔfo sɛ my definition of 24-hour economy ɛyɛ a byproduct of good economy. Say economy na solid. Bongo, say me printing press. Na say me nya ebi a me fa say Legon. Say omo ebooks no omo pamphlet omo bibia me na me print na say me bo. Ya ma me contract na me wa adwuma. Enyi obi na be ka chem say me nkoye. But aban so abon ni tirimu po say opeso ye bibi sa I will say eboa. Yeah. What I say? Na omo ka asem bi say ebe ma enkrofo e de omo sika ba investors beba beba na yeje omo wa to nemu
say omo de be free amono ne
yes so omo do
sika ba China fo a no mo ba
no mo so de omo sika be shemu no hwe oman we e ba se ye ma tax exemptions as a tax exemption emfata Ghana for
say
so ko parliament tax exemptions are oman nyina no strike average the back Ghana for nyuma ho enu 20%.
Eh
yes
na you want tax exemption mo
foreign why MPS temaport tax exemptions in them out tax exemptions ba company we ni atamama no beko na foreign companies yenua no mo mpanyimfo te say yenua panyi o say kwa amene yenua ofurisapo yenua Ibrahim no mo ya omo ye Ghana fo a sa asem si wo man we mu a wo mo ni esufre wo mo no tax exemption in them out
ye dey abroad ba yi
what you say
entrepreneurs
e ku Ghana fo
ta no person che
what you say
Ghana fo mo
ke people no mo nyuma wo mo ya asem si wo man we mu no mo kan wo no bom no mo yiska no mo de akoboa yesi we ye pia no ye yiska yesi we dialysis no yiska sankrofo ne wo se ma mo tax exemptions we ya ban de ba no in as much as you welcome no say tax exemption bi o wa aban no enye conscious effort to say o de be ma Ghana for na Ghana nyuma enyini Ghana for nye sika na Ghana for nye sika eto ma we mu hwe first pa no na nkata ma dollar kosoro eye between August, September and October. Okay. Because that time na for Christmas and
okay.
Say there has been another window. Yeah, January, February, March, almost a dollar and so that intra.
No go for Easter.
Because foreigners no man be go man we mu no. Afei na out of China for no January, February no so ko mu new year. Etu omo be kwa omo tie sika na dollar na sa akoso. Na senka se sika ni nyina e wo East Legon executives for wa and come was and dollar dey here. Omo to dollar no mu di. Ghana nye citizen ye di. Ni nyina wo ye nwan me bra. Oh, nti ye ma say sa adwuma we e dey ba no. Private partnership na e be she mu no. Say tax exemption bi o ho a ye fa ma Ghana for no.
Okay.
We are foreigner. Ye ni ama asumdua ba o man ni mu. Bongo Africa o man ben ene ye beto aba ma ruling government between enya 49.7 na yakọ run off o man ben ye beto aba ma president as I kind of 4 years was we lose no as akwatena this is Ghana na asumdue na NDC ni MPP NCP for Ghana for man aba no e kwan ben na timamufo no so e ba fa so e be enjoy as asumdue no e kwan e be fa so e be enjoy as asumdue ni say we hoho na adu sika be ye adwuma wa ha adwuma no ye ma Ghana for ene enye se adwuma no
okay
na Ghana for enye sika just kana tena o ma we
Mr. Mwati ma me call president na mpese hu say we utilities light bill water bill security ni ade nyina na be dimu akoten power 24-hour economy no so because they say light bill ya santum e ba na sa mo amde mo she 24-hour economy affect mo
and affected in a sense some few months ago we know how much Ghana were paying and how much the dollar to the city was rating.
Okay.
Then how much was the in terms of inflation rate. ya di contain and friends
na
di contain pa na we 24 na ultimate time 100,000 Ghana cedis na of course obanye kura maybe $40,000 $45,000
okay
and then obi anu otua 350,000 for duty in the port to clear a more and now otua gets 150,000. You know the kind of saving that is make. Twitter bit small car na ya Uber no. Na emre 6 months ago na we see ko to side to clear that. Na 2 years ago na a year ago no sa car it was costing about 25,000 Ghana cedis in the market.
Yeah.
Work on to duty 6 months ago you have paid duty no less than 80,000 to clear such a car.
Do beton
to Honda Civic CVR. Now it was cost less of 150,000 in the market. 6 months ago, Saka no person kotona get 300,000 on your Saka no. Because of duty components, because of city was about hovering around 14 series to the dollar, and then customs is using 3.4.
Okay.
In calculating the duty, and so many people business costs have come down.
Okay.
If you are running coastal and other things, you are buying electricity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now you are buying fuel at times. Fuel rate has gone, let's say, from let's say 18 cedis per liter or 7 cedis per liter, maybe above foam, let's say 10 to 11 or 12. The highest is not even up to 13 cedis per liter. But we are buying it only per liter, not gallon, not gallon. So I can tell you that the government have really worked on when can operator by Parliament bill say I work I will turn around the clock. No clock it was anti-clockwise. Hey, anti-clockwise.
Hey,
no,
can operator tell me
I want 419 wakadri. Oka, they cows said them. Say me kasa asakem kwan ya me amata eti ha no. Ya ba de 200 ne kache mata. O policy we aye wakadri. Remember, I because me who your mama say anta he was a fine gentleman, but at the time I didn't buy no. The injury time, see he will come to play injury ball. At first in man, they know or come market or really budget or come market. No, on him say the deputy was designated, yet to be approved. I think he had gone through the vetting or he was yet to go through the vetting. Or the council must say because that I mean we come for still also. Let's go and listen to what market women want. And then oko sunyane, oko bono east, oko bono da sunyane, oko tamale, oko savannah, oko kumasi shua magazine. Market women can take products na yet to say 2 months, 3 months ago, and then price in the it is saying himself at that pay ye in a you come market. You who's the price of say yellow gallon oil no is what costing about 1,000, 2,003 and it's about 700 6 point something. Sugar no is what about 700 plus and then sugar it will be hovering around 5 to 650. That is President Mama say Oba 24-hour economy.
Oba connect foundation.
Absolutely. I will say they are not going to dominate. They are creating a platform. The government is creating a platform for private sector to flourish. And on the mini kind of me dani na let me come to kwa time operator collapse Ghanaian banks. That is because of the Howard liquidity problems or whatever. Something that you could have used 8 billion to rescue them. You end up using 22 or 23 billion. Still, a billion we kind because of the Ghana industries. Yeah, Papa, you can say for you.
Yeah.
We have okay say former Chief Justice Sophia Akufu.
Yeah.
Okay, say he will not respond to pin what? Or you see word be pin something. No respond to Gabi Ochedanko.
Okay.
He was demonstrating. We have since my lifetime, 46 years. Me who say pensioners, Eco Ministry of Finance to protest gets to get on car. Or the better draw.
I know.
Emma Bebre Frim.
Yeah.
Nancy Carl Bank, former MD. Was he yes Kusino ya bundle out of his retirement. Na yo no kura ewie no yes aginisika sa head cutter over the buy no.
And openo kase former finance minister and former president
also on hu che omuda. Second of that is language in America. Send ya baba cheap boat. Coffee boat and hwan mu. They are FBI, FTC America ba but che amount for it to extradite. Now Ghana government is your boy must say extradite to back to the US no. Sa no person sa FBI so mo chief for that. Hey, I know more extra. I'm serious. If I were to the Ghana government, I would say, oh, before you people we have declared or be wanted on the Namho or the deal or core restaurants, big restaurants enjoy one Chinese for. We children for them, right? 24-hour economy. No, I'm telling you, the 24-hour economy is the game changer.
Game changer.
President Mama see you back connected from Port to Bupe.
Okay.
The Akosomo Lake, so that Danny na me gender and if I say me gender me dadwe any Ghana for ambassador any junior bapa me dadwe any sa ye nuafo a omo free Mali Niger Burkina Faso omo buy a port baba say transit through our port here. Yeah. They load more than the axle load. Who call Linda door or you know I'm saying pack and some one road. Yeah. Sometimes
the packet cars
other jurisdiction no and even Ghana laws no after 6 p.m. These cars the guys say more packing on my road no free for smaller cars to pass. Yet you see them they are killing our road. So what can be done if we are able to open that corridor from the Water Lake so that cargo be able to do to my port. They have to some another carrier ferry. Now until we fuck do bupe na almost trucks the baba find them on free akọ and now say yeah the produce from northern region Batamal airport na LFT na ba Akotoka international airport na LFT to the US to the UK MY. That is what we are talking about.
Okay.
That is the game changer we are talking about.
Okay.
And of say many payika baby I Gusitan the can say for the project to be very successful we need $4 billion or so.
Yeah.
But so far, government has made over $300 million to $400 million. I think they've started on a good note. I'm saying this because we cannot just take $4 billion and give to 24-hour economy when we don't have a law backing. And that's why President Mahama can say he will make sure that it will go to Parliament to give it an authority.
All right.
Then it will be lying squarely in his office, report to his office. And if you look at, I think
as I keep chairman. I'm watching home because person me be lines into na manfo so e che o ma dwen kakra chama o final message and sana mafa
well me dey ade ba ko a president kan ya me hwese nka o do ma dwen be ko pa hwe wo hwe voter league ya se ye kuro bi so na sa voter league ne da one anka fish ho enye problem awo
okay
ye bitimi ayese ye ma ye farmers niska omom ya kwa farm nanka yetimi aye anatilapia ne sa anam catfish ne sa ye niema ye bitimi aye sa from up north sa unite dia asakire ni ampre o camp voter league bisa last week no so last week ni je bia okoje wo voter league wa camp voter league sa apart from no hwe se ye kase ye de boat ni ferries akese to so a ade ndi na ye ntumi nye enti onyankopon ache ni ma bebre a sa ne ma ni nyina ye ma no ko waste but aban no me dey all the politicians they be amba me ka kire so omo kan businessman kasa ye no omo da ye nkata ye ni mienu oh da businessman be anu a
mon trase aban za
ye nkasa yes businessmen dey any politicians in da ye nkata ye ni mienu
mu kata ba no mo bi ba ko
what you say
o kai say every time no buta for ko ye strike bi and fifi fifi the person sa papa na me body job no be fi no oh na mo buzi bu fixed rate will have ho na abai say be hwe mo na mo so say mo oh mo de mo bra fa ye baka hwim him omo fire na ade party so
etini ye kan say a good initiative tell them account chiro no businessman bi enu abanze obebi adwuma ana obeye program ebe mangofo enya adwuma na this ka bebe ko because wonpe because we businessmen we are positioning ourselves say parliament wie pe yetiesim baby ebenya incentives e bobo ayen baby ebenya tax rebate e bobo ayen nyuma no ye be because yen abe nyina ne de nyina no ye nama baby eska bon bia yete
ntise mpesa mu bie mu nyuma mu
ye nyuma
na mo fa more workers
otiase enya say the aban ne kan ye no aban ne make sure say obema businessmen ombe invest into that you know even more because almost say almost 2.5% bia ombe better selected imported items as well ebema mo generate ska no mo dey amount is Exim Bank is a good no more problem otiase because import and export you see can yet mamo by any import na there omo manyo go omo boye video du go achere by you can you see can also what you say eti no aban no emo modern say dey me kan yenwa panye gusita no omie ne pronto na onye stakeholders consultation so yen is na obia and you can comfort the proposals baba when you peruse through cross the T dot the I's obewie no ubenya a fine working document that ubenya say these people mean well yema omuska and you see aban sika say yema obia there should be KPIs
yes or SLPs
what I say yet oma we hey yebema obi adwuma no KPIs and now say dia ma no or before adwuma no net saying 6 months into his administration at the saying oh we no at the saying
yen checking
and one is a Land Cruiser papa na fa me bo
we plan yen fa nya manyosem party fo na ye be ko chamo
ene ye de yen tufo say amanyosem de ye na nye baabia na ye amanyosem ko yen ye adwen say yen nuanu ma o ma ye bia ye no yen fa ma o yen ye tu amanfo aban a wetwem say nko onya de bi wa nya me hwa aban obo obeye bongo adentina yen dwedifo yetimi ko bobosia 36% interest rate yetimi de ye adwuma payable 1 year expansion na buying etimi koji euro bond $1 billion payable 25 years 8% interest rate na bana sa aboka no de kwa IMF you see
oya default crampo
what is say your ma we ya yenje $1 billion yempe try and tested people yen your penyo say kwa ma on body phone say ye ka say ye penko for be 10 na ye ma obi $100 million we enko into poultry we enko into piggery we enko into plantation and you sure say be lucky baby and these people give them this amount of money give them 8% interest rate na catch them say we 5 years and these people can employ more than 2 million people what I say at the end should say say near selected people we should cut off politics na yen chichire ya man no hwe ya na make us become politician asema e die say o ma akola bi ti o ma we na wo control exams ni bizana say 1st July holiday na holiday akola no be chiro say
okay all right my line
I can tell you the Omabinka Sambi or see fun 24 hours no financial inclusion is going to be one of the key priority and also the aspire 24 no is to also train the human capital because this policy of only banner the people who are going to work on it doesn't understand it then it's going to be in vain above all I think that I want to add my voice that we should also look for advocates or ambassadors who will go through the secondary schools to educate our school children to say that, to understand that going into 24-hour economy going into farm is no longer that somebody is a done ahead but it's a profession.
Okay.
America,
even China.
But in this part of our world, them say, oh, yeah, drop out of school. We're talking about large-scale farming. We're talking about grow 24. We are talking about large-scale farming.
Okay. Miami line too. I'm trying for a course back community and Sana Astroson Koma ye di with me abamubi. Your numbers no and a war otie here if you no so screen no as free na a branco moy emubi Yam for frefo di kan. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Me pa cho odi ni be afra efi.
Your friend Mr. Chado, me director of communication ma Abuja Council.
Hey, chairman.
From China.
Teji, let me be our there.
Boko ma mi cha bi CDS on go to hono no mi che o nyina.
Akwa abanso.
Ye nua. We dia ma mi ko di tew. Be me say 24 economy ni nya ni expect ba ja aban no na ni sadu kun say adwuma be mmem. But the big back one, ye near omo nyadin say, ye players na kasa na omo amfatai in omo ye free move. It's your honor no, I say, anya ye de wo especially abuso kan.
I spare pass dealers no.
Exactly. Omo amfatai, omo fire kan ho. Yes, omo invite ye kese ye man e town say as observers. It you know, I say, ye ho de ani anje ho. But then by and large no dey, I think the policy no solid. Beboa ma edwadi so akọ enim because your call China for instance saying you could just copy that almost near fine for 10 mra omo ye electrical no mu training mo China nyam fa mo bra Ghana association no na fem bia de say be say boa oman no o ma no tumpon se mo ye project na mo tian factor ina na you go dey ejina sisi a
na denti na omo fa banshim
omo fa factor be dia because na o say na Mr. Martin ka say na ka ye mo ye place ni mo no stakeholders engagement more important ombra fa na ma ji adwenkyere na mo kwa mo company ni na sa na mo dia e alanchi we dey yan ka yan tru bia de wa so mo lanchi e na o ma panyi so na ni sadu hunu no yet mi ka say me ma ne nye be so ye ba ne mo no so no e mo factor e nti mi hu say mi ni asaki o ka ho no ma ye ni ji kakra at least no ni bi ka ho but Baba large no amatin tag for no yankafi anchro mo abosuka station yankafi anchro mo so magazine yankafi anchro mo kokompe yankafi anchro mo nti ye select next time no mo bia na omo me entrance nya yi because ya pay investors from China bi omo ba menu kasa we chairman ma automobile industry I was Sri Lanka oba before December no baba Ghana ye fa no metimi aboa yen ye see pay say sa electric plant no Oma no me build it ha cars na ba ni no ye ni e penetrable ye ni infrastructure ye pa na be charge wo this of course circle this thing go form na one place when you walk if the cars say ba ha ye pa na be charge no ya ko pay investors e bi omo ba ma be boa ye it is a situation no ye ya so mo de aboa oman no reset na agenda ye ni na ye wo bi ba ne mo omo ye bia no mo factor in sapa na me ka che o
Taji ado ye be da se Mijini say Asaki wa Asaki.
Yes.
So what
no cry no cry no. But ohwe the Gusitano speech this morning no. Me who say obobo fake, obobo AGI, obobo Guta and others. And every man at the time at the almost share for him to get that report now obobo I don't know. Na important export association, name institution wasn't part. Na TAC wasn't part. Na Abuja wasn't part. Because if we were part, because it was done at the presidency through the Ministry of Trade. And I think that we even went to the Ministry of Trade to protest. And so it is true. Now that Mr. President has given me the opportunity to serve in the Accelerated Export Development, which is under 24-hour economy, you see that they've written the Accelerated Export Development. So meaning our committee is going to work directly under the 24-hour economy. So I'm going to raise this at the committee level where the President will be chairing.
Thank you.
That is a reality.
All right, Yemfa, next caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Me Bachodin. Oh, we ready to shira na unso e.
Boko.
Bachodin be bia frefi.
Betia tag president am watching ene ni ba ko unso fi horo.
Okay.
Na kakra meka nyumre ne say Ghana politicians eyo mo din so mbe yare papa mbitmai. Dinti ama me ka sa ne say John Dramani Mahama wa be the president da.
Yeah.
No be the president no. Ade ba ko ye ya me ni ti ho pa ba ko na be ka tram. Okay say emre do ma so binko eni omo me pharmacy industries no omo muska. E binya $2 million. E binya $3 million. Be na ye shepe bia companies no. Binya dan abro ne wo mutrima na se papa mo betima ye. It is your mama so be ya de no be ni ya. Ni e policy do betima ye.
Okay.
Because as some Americans, I don't say I'm part of being co-op. Other companies do some here from the industry or born also. And they even pay so much. China, China, for your margin say in 10 to 15 years, on bit one nipa over 2 million is for. Not China, for.
Yeah.
Then the idea more yet. You wake up for memo martin correct. But greediness, my partner was war when you're a party member. Suddenly began in ya. Now you guys are no man or man fun to my best friend. But you are to be a mean near the young bonia, Kurumba bread.
Monica, Monica,
yes, must say ye be at the papa woman now. Minia, I think Papa will dream now a bro and the ye.
That's it, Monica, the do a job for transfer in chain fan scholar. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Yemfa next caller. Oh man, so hello, good evening. All right, UTV so any factors back in nafe ya storage medino. So hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello, good evening.
But you didn't be afraid fee.
Mr. David, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Up.
But your friend say?
Make us free, don't go nothing. But unye or tone chain. Kasa free, don't go nothing.
But your TV volume don't come from one. Young kasa. Why? Yes, a bit delay.
Unye na or tone chain. David Kojono. Yo, but unye na or tone chain. Your friend David. Actually, a queer first of the man Ghana for a year or many D. Na watch no maybe brave. Son no man never mind near to me, Nibeka. Into no, sir, na great trainer, I am with the pa.
Okay.
I am with the. So what me I try no my castle of my penny, yeah, a bit more, yen ye, young Juma, may. It's me, it's me, acquire new ababu. And the pass, which me a mayor, Saquinian. Or me promote to say, we you, or say any government to be around day, sir, a good deal the banner. But ma on my and I say, any more main, it's me acquire new ababu. It's me 2 point or main. It's that great say no, I am in the pass, which me a chess agony.
Okay.
That was it.
That's it.
I catch it.
A chadun can of him for you now.
To say about we also be allowed to come at the 7 banner.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Young fan scholar. Hello.
Bongo di pala.
Yes.
Now what to say?
Erade gusu shirayen yo. Now so eh.
Ayo. Me frefu kumase.
E fro say.
Abiba.
You Abiba. Ohima Abiba enti we.
Me frefu kumase bompata. Bongo. 24-hour economy there. Enye izo ye be boy adwuma pa o. Ye be boy adwuma enye izo. Mo da mo fo mo ni so hwa de na. Omo sare omo ka se omo 2028 omo be si me ye fio. Mo go ka se omo se me se omo bo kra. Omo si me take.
Habiba nie.
Ai me ni be shop ah we na o to TV na. Bongo bye.
Bye bye. Okay, yeah, Brenoko, enti mamra bidwafo honum. The great Asaki Awengobed. The executive secretary.
Bongo Difara. The America extra crown say this 24-hour economy no. Enye President Mahama ne born slim e born trim me say me be yawe magana for okay, prior to 2024 election no. Even in 2020 election, Obo Apro echo around the country, engage interest groups, business communities, business executives, Ghana for na 2024 election, same thing Osako around the country to listen, solicit, what Ghana for MP. Then that metamorphose to become the manifesto for the 2024 election. No?
Okay.
That brought him to government. And he's fulfilling the things that he went around and listened, what he promised or what he factored into the manifesto. And one of the biggest program, and Enura, 1st July, prayer and national Thanksgiving. Your State House, you call Central Mosque. Number 2, and 2nd July, or launch the 24-hour manifesto on the Ghana for in a PAM. I can tell you this policy is not only for John Mahama and his government alone, but this is a collective. We share info, Musa Dankwa, or Koye policy so baby recently, or say Ghana for Gide over, is it over 70 or how many percentage on President John Mahama?
72%.
72%. So I can tell you quite clearly.
Yes,
so I can tell you quite clearly that this policy, if it's implemented well, we will forever remember John Mahama after he leaves the office.
Wow. Mr. Martin also.
Oh, unya ya bema ozo ochana within the birthday.
Hey, ya bema.
Oh, invite you.
Yao, happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, Kenya na say yensre nyampama Ghana mpanyimfo. Na yankoso mompa yese nyame momo so da papa. Na Ghana businessmen and women. Yeah, I think it is a bobo or man, almost so. Now you see what worries me, and I'm so sad. Say Ghana, a buying sa not yet businesses be, and ya buy we unko a buying a tremu, a buying sa, and ka buying sa dia, a political appointees near, and ka businessmen don't go be our own gown. What I say, it is the best politicians, and I say, omu mine. Ebe businesses na almost support indigents no na yen pagya na yen ye pagya e no man ni pagya se Ghana afo wiska ye ko IMF 3 billion so man paying for businessmen na ya ye betima gigibidi ama wo abeko kwa yen interest rate into omumwa na Ghana fo no enye adwuma bogo ntien ha Ghana fo paying for se telcos yeah, what Ghana in our foreigners? Ghana, when you were how?
Seriously?
It's something I think about. A idea hammer. And the Ghana penny for you say, Pesika, not telcos will be torn in the young talk.
Yanka saying talk.
Young pay Ghana for bear 10 b. Near for my home. Near, yes, you bet to me. Yes, you can't throw mine.
Okay, madam for na mase.
Trump as mama say, Medin grandma say 2024 e ko campaign ko kumazi. Ko na esi wuntumi ji contract ko na onye ne me ka no ko accident no. Me ka na me ko no fa mentimi di no bio.
Ora Samson Asaki Awingobet, Executive Secretary, Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, and afi Mr. David Kwaju Amwatin, President, Traders Advocacy Group Ghana, TAG, President, I don't know. Now, businessman Bakoye Madamfo, Ora Frank Kwame Ousu, Director, Cove Hotels, Ewonkoko, or a businessman, also business be brave.
You should come and join the union, yes.
Oh, no,
Ghana for.
Okay, any businessmen and women are moving in a chama join a tag. And I feel importers and exporters. Sans say a kuno say a kuyi pa. All right, I'm for Cassia, say Otimia Kwame, Ousu, a dreamy, and can. Na production team no so I say, one more about Juma pa, more freba show you so. Ya minsta mu nyina mo amhwe yen monko so ahwe YouTube sanse ha na ne pani nyina wo ene production team no menua Bernard Atho Ata ono na edi wo manimu executive producer Dr. Farah Dixon, the only godfather, the superhero of our time. I call him King Solomon of our time. Now me admire brace say investment money dey share bi me dey David Ofori Savo Bongo Divara